Um,
It is the sounds of Keiko. Alwa is the song that you just listened to. It is 27 after 12 p.m. Once again, good afternoon in case you're just joining us. Well, the special guest happens to be Keiko, and she's in studios with us.
Yep,
Well,
yep.
earlier on when we were off air, you told me the meaning of Alwa is like banange.
It's like saying banange. Like, how do you explain what banange means? You know what I mean? Like,
Yes, yes, I get it.
yeah, it's one of those words in Japadola that's just it's kind of like something you say when you're in pain. Yeah.
Girl from
yeah.
the East. Now that explains
Yeah.
the eastern part of you.
Sure.
But let's talk Canada. Why in the first place did you consider going to Canada?
I was excited, just like I was excited to sign to Sony.
Okay.
Um, they gave me residency,
Okay.
so I took them up on it. They gave it to me when I was still in Uganda.
True.
So by the time I got there, I was already a resident. Everything was set up. All my paperwork was set up. So I said, why not? Because the Sony thing had stressed me out, and I was like, maybe I needed a break
Okay.
from it all. So I decided to go there.
What year did you go to Canada?
2017.
That's the same time you decided to put Sony aside.
No, that's when our contract ended.
Okay, and you decided to not renew with them.
No, it hadn't ended actually.
Okay.
I pushed for it to end because it was supposed to be a 5-album contract,
Okay.
and I had just released one in 2016,
Okay.
and that took 5 years to release, which was very frustrating.
All right.
Yeah, so I decided no, I need to try something new.
So you decided to leave for Canada in 2017.
Yes.
You've been there for a couple of 6 years.
Yes.
So let's talk life in Canada. What happened? Did you have any family members that you reached out to as soon as you got there, or maybe you checked in a hotel?
I was there on my own.
Okay.
I moved there. I was living with a friend of mine I went to high school with
Okay.
in Ottawa.
Okay.
And when it was time to go to school, because I wanted to study film,
All right.
I decided to leave Ottawa because the school was in Toronto.
Okay.
So I left Ottawa and went to Toronto,
All right.
where I was living in a shelter,
Oh.
which is not as bad as it sounds. It's like a hostel,
In
for
Ottawa.
immigrant. No, in Toronto.
In Toronto.
Yeah, because I left her in
So you
Ottawa.
decided to leave your friend.
Yes, and pursue my film career, where I was studying film at Toronto Film School,
Okay.
and the hostel was at the shelter.
All right. So is there like any kind of issues you had with a friend, or you just decided to leave?
I think there were a couple of issues, but I think when people get there, they change. Because when they were here, they were really okay and everything.
Now when they get
When
there.
I got there, I was like, whoa, this is a different person.
Really.
Yeah, so life was a little strange for me.
Okay.
But thank God I went to school, so my whole time at school for about 2 years was the best time I had in Canada, yeah.
So your life at the shelter, were they like providing everything, accommodation, food, and everything like you
Yeah.
did? Were they paying you?
No, they're not paying me.
Okay, the only thing they were doing is accommodate you.
Accommodation and food, yeah.
So if at any one point you wanted to leave the shelter, would you like have them in the know, or you just had to do it like?
You can just leave if you want.
Ah.
At any time you want.
Okay, if I may ask also, for anybody that needs to know, weren't
Yeah.
there like Ugandans there to reach out to for you to be at the shelter? Because here in Uganda, we know Keko is a celebrity. I mean, when she gets there, she's supposed to like be welcomed a special kind of way. Like you can't
you'd
end
be
up in the door.
surprised.
Why?
You'd be very surprised. I wasn't as popular. I don't sing in Luganda, so you know how they are out there.
Oh wow.
They take the Luganda artists a little higher than the rest of us.
So Keiko in Canada is not a celebrity.
Keko in Canada was just living her life, music free. I wanted to get away from the whole scene.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'd had the hang of it. It had stressed me out. I had gotten mental health problems because of it.
Okay.
And I wanted to just get something that would put me in a different direction altogether.
Wow, what a story. But then let's talk about the video that once made news all over social media.
Everyone
You know,
keeps asking me about
there's a
that
video that leaked. I am sure you're
It
aware of
didn't
it.
leak. I
You
was the one
posted-
that recorded it.
Okay. That video of you on Instagram, and then you know how everything was.
Yeah, when I was extremely drunk,
Okay.
I was drunk off. What was I drinking? I drank wine,
Okay.
a whole bottle of wine, and then I drank a whole bottle of what's that drink? Tanqueray. It was time of lockdown. I was so bored in my hotel room because
Okay.
it was lockdown.
Okay.
I was like, let me just cause some trouble on the internet. So I was like, I went to the liquor store,
Okay.
bought a bottle of wine,
Uh-huh.
sparkling wine, my favorite.
And that is how everything came out.
And that's how everything came out. You started off like, we're just gonna get drunk on Instagram.
Fun. It was just something
like,
fun.
let's have fun.
And before you
like,
know it,
before you know it, I'm like, everyone is
really?
like, you guys, Keko is on drugs. She's not okay. They called the police on me. I was like, what?
really?
Really, guys? I thought we were having fun. Let's just get party, you know?
So
Oh my God.
did you have any impacts because of that video? Did you get to face any negative impacts after the video went viral?
Not really.
Life moved on the next day.
Everybody was just saying Keko is blazed up on drugs.
Well, you have no idea how much
Drugs.
news it meant here in Uganda.
It was crazy, yeah?
You were so crazy.
Oh, wow. I apologize to my fans.
Okay.
You know, it wasn't a good look, but you know, sometimes we gotta have fun.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so any piece of advice that you would give to the celebrities we have here in Uganda, if at all any of them would want to go there and maybe they have no shelter anywhere they're gonna go to, so
Yeah.
what piece of advice would you give to somebody?
Who wants to go out of the country, period, would be make sure you have a place to stay that's solid.
Okay.
Like you have a roof over your head. Because if you don't have, that's the foundation. You can't hustle, you can't do anything. You don't know where you're going to sleep. It's going to make you really restless. You're not going to focus.
True.
Make sure you have a place to stay. Make sure you find a community. You know, the Ugandan community or whatever African community. So they can help you, show you around or whatever. You know, make you comfortable as soon as you get there.
That is true.
Yeah, and just keep your head down, you know.
Okay, speaking of finding the African community, when you're there,
Yeah.
why in the first place, before you considered going to the shelter, why did you not go to the African Ugandan friends? I mean, Canada might, I'm sure there's Ugandans in Canada. So
Yeah.
why didn't you reach for those communities?
I didn't know how to find them, to be honest. I didn't know how to find them, and I didn't want anyone in my business.
Oh.
That's also the other thing.
Oh, maybe you are scared of, they're going to say Keko
They're gonna
is
say
here.
Keko is stuck. They're gonna talk crazy.
I-
But I guess she came to Canada, what? But she doesn't even have her stay.
True,
She's
true.
asking us where to stay, what? You know what I mean?
I
man?
do, I get
I
it,
don't
I
I don't want all that racket.
Sure, sure.
So I was like, I'm gonna just figure it out on my own.
True.
Yeah.
Well, of course, it is Tidal Radio. Live it up. Keko in the studios of Tidal Radio. In case you're just joining us once again, it is the second hour of the show about nothing where anything goes. It's me, your girl Tyra E, taking you until the hour of 3 p.m. Well, we'll be right back after Matima coming in from Keko.